Good morning, everybody, and welcome once again to Stories from the Stage, our open mic session for the Festival of Discovery. I want to welcome you all here on a Saturday morning. I don't know about you, it's a bit bright outside, so I commend you if you're in. And I've got two cracking guests for us today. Without further ado, I will introduce my first guest, Ken. Ken, would you like to introduce yourself, darling?
Yeah, hi, I'm Ken Harvey. I'm the shed coordinator for Lockerbie Men's Shed, and I'm also the facilities manager for the Lockerbie Old School project, both of which are in Lockerbie, in the southwest of Scotland.
I was just chatting to Ken earlier about not being old school, but his black and white image, which I'm really quite taken to. So I think very sophisticated up there in Lockerbie.
Bit retro.
Like a bit retro. So some people might not know what a shed is or a men's shed is. Ken, can you tell me what a men's shed is?
Super simple version. A men's shed is just an extension, built larger version of the garden shed. It's a place to go to do a bit of work on your own, to have a bit of private time or a bit of quiet time. The difference is with a men's shed, there's a whole bunch of folk there. So it's a community around making, doing, and giving each other a bit of mutual support. Every shed is different, so it's difficult to put like a one really fine definition on it. But yeah, it's a place for men to go and hang out, have a chat, have a cup of coffee, maybe do some work, maybe not, depends how you feel, and just somewhere to sort of get your head straight again.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. How did you get involved, Ken?
I had a period of ill health, and I had been housebound for quite a long time, and I realised that I had to do something, anything, to change things. I was physically very inactive, mentally I was getting worse, and as I've said to people a lot of times, there's only so much time you can spend sitting in the house shouting at the breakfast telly before you realise yourself, this is a problem. I've got to get out and do something. A friend happened to mention that she was picking up her bike from the men's shed, and I thought, how drunk were you? You ended up leaving your bike in some old man's shed. And she went, no, it's a thing called, and she explained what a men's shed was. And I thought, that's good. So I went on to Google and I looked at it and I thought, I would do that. I want to get involved in something like that. And then found there wasn't any locally. And at that precise moment, there was none in Scotland. So it started from there. Yeah, a little bit of what I was getting myself in for.
And do you know how many are in Scotland now?
The last count I had, there's just under 200 in Scotland. There's about 170, 180 in Scotland. This last few months, obviously, it's been difficult to keep tabs. There are still sheds getting started right now. People really working their way behind the scenes, trying to get premises, trying to get everything in place so that when we're allowed to do it again, we can get back into it.
So I should imagine the pandemic's been really tricky for men's sheds and people come together. How on earth have you managed to carry on through that?
The pandemic has thrown up all big challenges. In mid-March, we closed down for what we thought was a couple of weeks. So we put the shed to sleep, we put the toys away, cleaned the cupboards out, and we went home and thought we'd be back in a fortnight. And here we are, however many months later. I'm not even counting it anymore. So that was difficult. The whole reason that sheds exist, when we have to make our statement of what we're about, that one of the first things is creating a space where men can socialise to reduce loneliness and isolation. And the one thing that this virus has brought about is people stuck in their houses experiencing crushing loneliness and isolation. And that's a difficult one to deal with because that's what sheds are for. I do that just now.
It's a real challenging time, isn't it? Because there's something magical about being able to work alongside people and focus on stuff and chat and go to somewhere comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I know you have been in touch with your sort of group members in between
My
time.
shedders, my men.
Your shedders, is that
My
what you call?
shedders, yeah. It's groping around looking for something to call them, because I can't call them the lads because they're all older than I am. Yeah, they are all older than I am. Just calling them the men is very exclusionary, because we do have some women who are involved in the shed, in the organisation, and a lot of women involved in the support of the shed. But yeah, it's the shedders. They're the men who shed. And we keep in touch with twice a week. We have Zoom meetings where we can literally just sit in the comfort of our own home on your sofa, cup of coffee and a biscuit, and just chat away, or listen, or have a good old groan about something, whatever it happens to be. And it's not quite the same as being there in person, but it works. But also the guys who actually run the shed, they're all contactable through social media. I'll just pick the phone up, if something's gone wrong. And we had a call from one of our members who unfortunately was going into hospital, and he needed some his disabled buggy picked up from his house, because he was concerned that it would be lying outside. And we were able to get that picked up and put into storage for him, which is what we would have done normally anyway, but it's just slightly more challenging to get things organised, when we've all got to stay at home.
It is, isn't it? But it's nice to know that that support network is still there. I've got, as you can see, a great question from Gronya, who said, it must be amazing to start a movement in your community. Do you have any advice for people who want to start one where one doesn't exist?
I'm not sure where Gronya is, but get in touch with your national men's shed association. So there's a UK Men's Shed Association that covers mainly England, but the UK as a whole. There's a Scottish Men's Shed Association. There's a Northern Ireland Association. There's a Welsh Association. They all have really good websites with core information on getting a shed started. Speak to people locally. What we did at first, after we tried to persuade anybody else in the local authority or in third sector to do it for us, we realised, if not them, then us.
Yeah.
We basically called a public meeting in a local hotel and said, anybody that's interested in finding out about a men's shed and maybe starting one up locally, come along. And we expected 2 or 3 people to turn up. And on a wet night in February 2017, no, 2000, oh gosh, a long time ago.
And in Scotland.
Yeah, it was wet February in Scotland. We had something like just under 30 people turned up. And some of those have become members of the shed. Some were from the council, were from the third sector, were from other support organisations who wanted to find out what this thing was about, because they realised this has got a value to us. This could help us meet some of our targets. And yeah, it started from there. So once you've got an idea of what you want to do, call a meeting, see who comes along, try and find somebody to partner up with, because don't try to do this on your own, it will kill you. And just work from there. And mostly do it.
Yeah, no, that's fabulous. I think getting an idea, doing it, and then finding some allies is some good, solid advice, and it's some advice we constantly give when we're working with groups. What would you say to somebody who was like you, right at the beginning of your journey, stuck in the house right now, that might have come across this? What would you say to them?
Right. The first time somebody visits a shed, quite often they are pushed into it by a family member, or shall we say encouraged.
Coerced.
Or a few are self-motivated and that they'll get along there. But it can be a really big and almost a kind of scary first day at school feeling about it. You don't know quite what's going to be involved. You don't know what the people are going to be like. Go along, have a chat, have a cup of coffee. Just stick your head round the door and say hello, and just take it from there. Every shed I have visited, they are super welcoming, they're super friendly, and take some coffee with your coffee, a packet of biscuits, and that's it. You're the friend for life.
Guaranteed a short welcome if you
Absolutely.
take it. Oh, thank you so much, Ken. I'm going to pop Ken backstage for a minute and bring up my second guest. But Ken, that was lovely, and I'm sure it's been really warmed my heart talking to you. So I think just by knowing you, I'd be guaranteed there's a warm welcome at the shed.
Thank you.
So we'll bring Ken back later if you've got any questions. So now my next guest is Nick. Hello, Nick. And I know that Nick is live streaming this as we speak.
Tracy, I'm on top of Big Ben, so I don't want to look down.
So Nick, welcome, and please tell everybody who you are and what you get up to, because you certainly get up to a lot.
How long have you got, Tracy? You've got 5 minutes. Shall I just have a little ramble for 5 minutes? Is that all right? I'll be honest, I'm totally humbled by Ken's stuff. The men's shed, I love that work. And I was chatting to a lady on the train going to Leeds yesterday who runs the buff end. She's got very full of stuff as well, and she's got a men's shed in the village, and it's just great, isn't it? I mean, basically, here I am at the moment in the middle of London. From satellite, this is what it looks like where I am, believe it or not. You can't make this up, Tracy. I tell you, we've got the technology to have a little bit of fun here, to say the least. I have built with another dad from my kids' school. We built a pyramid stage from cardboard and code, and it's just down there in the square. And if I just jump down there, here I am in front of that stage. It's been a remarkable summer, really, because we built a pyramid stage and a school playing field down there in Somerset, down the road from Glastonbury. We ran our own Glastonbury Festival on this cardboard pyramid stage. It was all made out of cardboard and computer code and a bit of creativity, really. And here it is outside BBC Television Centre. We did a little thing there the other week. And what we're trying to do, I mean, here I am now down at Eden Project. It's all a blag. You know it's all a blag. Anybody knows anything about this knows it's all a bit of a blag. Because if I just cut to the camera there, you'll realise I'm just in my shed. This is my back bedroom. And I've got a few computers. I got off eBay 3 laptops that people Skype in on. I can mix them on this Vision mixer. If you've ever done DJing, it's like a DJ mixer, but for video instead of music. We've got a laptop here that's streaming out to the world. I've got another laptop down here with the PowerPoint on it. I've got a camera there pointed at me, all built to my messy desk, or there's like my little cardboard sculpture. There's a telly at the back, which has got everything on it. It's absolutely nuts. And that's really what we're doing today, is trying to, oh, that's gone a bit very up, isn't it? What's up in there? Oh my goodness me. Well, not to worry, we'll sort it out. There we go. Get rid of that. And I pressed the wrong button there. So that's what happens, you see, things go wrong, but we don't care. I'm just a dad, and I was inspired by this bloke who also was a dad, Sir Ken Robinson. And he said that creativity is as important as literacy. He did a TED talk that 300 million people have seen, that says that schools can teach creativity. Our kids were born creative, and if we're not careful, we get it taught out of us. And I think that's what's really great about the men's shed stuff. It's people expressing their creativity, refinding that stuff that got them ticking along when they were young. And we say that art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. It's all about those connections. Your art could be painting, your art could be photography, your art could be cooking, your art could be dancing or designing or DJing, fashion, football, cooking, as I say, coding. I know all these are things that various people in the community, even communities, get involved with, and they do with their people. Robots are exciting. We've got to make sure we give our kids the skills to outpace the robots and not let them win. Rockets, I've loads of fun with rockets. I fire dynamite rockets off like this in school playgrounds, gets the whole community buzzing. We make paper rockets with the kids. We just have a fantastic time. And I'm a bit of a trainer, I've got to admit. There's me with my favourite rocket, Stevenson's rocket, made by a little lad or a young man from Newcastle who was illiterate until he was 15. You can't make this stuff up. And talk about somebody whose art made them a bit of money. Talk about somebody whose art made them a few friends. Talk about somebody whose art made the world a better place. Elton John here. Which way is it? Elton John. I mean, people like that. It's just phenomenal. in 2 weeks' time, we're doing another festival because we got an arts grant, a grant from the Department of Culture and Treasury, and we're doing a 3-day festival with our friends up there at Parkins Primary. 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got amazing bands playing. We've got City Lights playing a song called I'm a Rock Star, because this is a festival to help our kids aim high, but higher than high, to help them build castles in the sky. It's a phrase that you often use. If you're a bit of a dreamer at school, they'll say, stop building castles in the sky, crack on, you've got no right to have that ambition. Well, we say our kids have every right to be ambitious. It's a tough world, we've got to give them the confidence, the skills. So it's a festival for rocket kids and rock stars. It's a festival for dancers and dreamers, for anybody who cares about community. And it's all part of some work we've been doing, part of this festival UK 22 that the government announced 2 years ago. And they were looking at £100 million for projects to show the power of art and creativity, to tell the world that we're a country that really people should be doing some business with, I suppose, and also to use the power of art and creativity to connect communities. And I've been doing stuff all the last 2 years. We didn't get asked to be part of the project. We do our own thing. I'm on a mission now to raise £1 million to put 20 nutcases like me on the road in 2022 to connect communities with art and creativity. So that's really the pitch. I hope that was hope that made some sense there, Tracy. Is that what you wanted? I'll shut up now. That's my shed.
It's an incredible shed. I think your bandwidth might be struggling a bit with you streaming and showing all your videos, because you did break up a bit there.
PlayStation. Sorry, I should have told them. Sorry.
But I think your passion for encouraging children to inspire to great things and to know that anything can be art is incredible. What would you say to parents today who are listening to this? What little thing might they be able to do today that you think could help them inspire their children to get involved in something?
Well, I mean, I'd sum it all up, to be honest. As communities, as families, as schools and everybody, we have responsibility to our kids and what we do at STEAMco, we help connect our kids with their art, whatever it is, and we help connect communities with schools, because it takes a whole village to raise a child. And I was just looking around for a lovely book. I don't know where it is. It's buried somewhere here. But basically, it's a lovely book by a chap called Michael Rosen. And it's called You and Your Kids, basically, being your child's best teacher. And everybody in this country has the potential within them to be their child's best teacher. They just need some ideas. They need some inspiration. They don't need fancy computers all the time. They don't need all this fancy tech. All they really need is just some inspiration. We say that the 3 greatest gifts you can give a child are some time, to read to them 10 minutes a night. So the second gift is actually stories and books. And the third gift is giving them their art. Help them find that one thing. Help them find that one thing. They might not like this, they might not like that, but they'll find something. Even if they're into a bit of Minecraft and playing the PlayStation, so, well, how can we turn that round into something that might be, you might make a bit of money out of, you might make some friends out of, you know? So I think it's about time, Tracy, is the answer to that question. Find the time to be with your kids in the moment. You've got plenty now.
Yeah, no, that's grand. And what have you discovered? Because you've done so much, and I think it is about spending time to discover what it is your children might be interested in, and actually what could you do together? Because I know some things that my grandchildren are into, I am not, but I find something where we have common ground. What have you discovered most about yourself whilst you've been doing this work?
Oh my goodness, that's deep and dark, isn't it? Blimey.
It doesn't have to be dark.
I know. I know you're getting me the heavy one. You know what? I don't know about what I've discovered, but what I'm possibly about to discover, and I hope I'm wrong. Well, my elevator pitch, as they say, that if you want to know about me in 30 seconds, I've got a master's degree in electronic engineering. I've got grade A in design technology and a big gob, as you've noticed. So I kind of get technology. I'm creatively aware. And I love flogging a good story. Now, from the first half of my career, that was advertising marketing. The second half of my life, if you like, is going to be selling creativity, which is art and tools and people. My challenge is, because, if this goes wrong, if this stuff here goes wrong, I will have to work out what to do. Oops, I've got the camera pointed to the wrong place now. Just muck that up. I've got to work out how to get it working. I've got to get all this working again. And that takes a fair skill set. This is going nowhere. It's going to kill me. There's no doubt about it. I'd rather die doing this than dribbling somewhere. I've got to work out how to make this scale and be sustainable. I've got to find people like me who want to do this. I say, look, there's one of our little drop trucks. We've got a little trailer with everything you need to run a creativity festival. Go out and run these days. Go and do some community pop-ups. The challenge is finding more me's, because I've realised in this lockdown how much of my kind of skills. I'm a Blue Peter child. I know I can solder wires together. I can build things. This table's got 2 bits of 2x2 gaffer taped onto the leg, so it's high enough for me to, a lot of people wouldn't know where to start because they've had that taught out to them at school. So that's my challenge, really. My lesson is realising how much is involved in being a one-man band, I suppose.
I suppose it goes back to what we were saying to Ken about finding those allies, isn't it? So finding those people with the same passion as you and those allies to help take things forward, isn't it?
Well, that's been my failure, Tracy, to be honest. And I know that you've had amazing people talk there at your community camp weekends about building a tribe, building a movement, all that sort of stuff. I'm a bit of a one-man band. If people can't keep up, I haven't got time, because I've got a lot to do. Boom, boom, boom. Leeds yesterday, Cornwall today. Boom. Now that's got to stop. And Matthew Taylor, the chief executive of the RSA, Royal Society of the Arts, he said to me, Nick, what you're doing is absolutely brilliant, but you're bloody useless. Sorry, swearing on the project. He said, look, you need a CEO or an ops person who can help you do this while you run around like an idiot, inspiring, engaging, and coming up with ideas. And follow on. And we had funding from the Festival 22. We didn't get shortlisted for that. So this week we're actually announcing what's called a patron. So people can put £1 a week or £1 a month in and just help us. You put a £5 in, we'll send you a T-shirt. But there's an option there. Give us 50 grand if you're a Barclays fan. You can laugh. I'm not asking you for 50 grand. You're just being here is good enough for you. An organisation wants to give us 50 grand. Put a man or a woman and a trailer and a rented car on the road for a year to do what we do, because next year I want to do it with 3 to see if it can scale. I don't want to put 20 on the road next year, just 3. #InspireNation21. And then if that works, we're going to get 1 million. We'll get 1 million. I'm not scared about getting 1 million if we can prove it works. Nobody's going to give me 1 million if I can't prove that I can make 3 people do this.
Yeah.
So I do get interested. Sorry.
No, it's really interesting. It really reminds me of some of the conversations we had yesterday where people were saying, actually, find something you're passionate about and do that, and I think it is that passion that helps you get over many, many barriers. And we often hear from people at the end of a success journey. And I think what we're hearing from you is we're talking to you in the middle of yours, Nick. I have no doubt when I talk to you in 5 or 10 years' time, there'll be a nation of pop-up festivals and community festivals all over the place. Right. Thank you, Nick. I'm going to bring back Ken to join us for any questions. And the amazing Lowry Howell, I think we might have quite a few nations here, Scotland, Wales and England, has been keeping an eye on Facebook for us and some of the things, and will let us know if there's been any questions.
Yeah, do send any questions in. I'm enjoying Nick's techie things that are going on. We're seeing multiples of them.
I haven't got a clue what's going on. It's a bit hard doing it this way.
I was actually going to ask a question. Am I allowed to ask a question myself?
Yes, you may, yeah.
We've talked about, you guys have both talked about finding allies and actually being a one-man band, but it is amazing how much you can do yourself just getting started. And you both seem full of energy in different ways, but you can tell that you're full of energy. I was just going to ask kind of how do you find the energy to keep going? Because I think that's something that a lot of people kind of struggle with at the moment. There's lockdowns coming in, people are having feeling fatigued. So where do you find that kind of energy from?
I have no idea. I'm just too stubborn to give up. Keep looking for the short-term goal. We've all got a long-term goal for our projects, for our lifestyle, for whatever it is we're trying to achieve. It's what am I going to try and get through today? What am I going to get done this morning? And just focus on that, get that done, and then take on to the next one. Somebody said a long time ago, it was how do you eat an elephant? And it's one spoonful at a time. It is that. It's the big task can be overwhelming. It's just a massive, massive thing. And how am I ever going to cope with it? Well, there's one thing there that I can do today. I'll get that done. I'll just making a list of the things that you need to do that. And concentrate on that. Celebrate that small win. and then celebrate the next small win, and just keep celebrating them.
I think that celebration thing is key, because often we might get them done, but then we go straight into the what didn't we do, instead of actually going, yay, I did that today.
You've got to remember, give yourself a pat on the back every once in a while. Just go, yeah, I did that. That's a good thing. That worked. Because you will find it's just the nature of things. People will always point out the flaws. Oh, I wouldn't have done it that way. Oh no, you shouldn't be doing that. And when that happens, it just grinds you down. You've got to keep looking for the positives, looking for the wins. If nobody else is doing it, give yourself a pat on the back and get on with it.
Cracking. What about you, Nick?
I feel I'm in a safe space now. Whoever's watching, I'm only 3 people watching it on our feed stream, but I mean, I keep saying I'm 56. I'm actually 57. I'm 58 in 2 weeks. You know, and I often joke. I say this is a midlife crisis masquerading as philanthropy. You know, this. I don't know what else I could do, Tracy. You know, that keeps me going. You know, I've remortgaged my house 3 times in the last 2 years. I then got the statement after the mortgage holiday saying your mortgage has doubled. Well, there's no surprise, because your payments are doubled because you've doubled your mortgage. Oh my goodness, I had 5 years to pay it off. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I had a break, double the payment terms. Instead of being 5 years, I've now got another 10 years mortgage. That's brought the payments down again. Boom, off I go again. So I'm still paying what was back in June. But thank goodness to the Arts Council. And I just want to say thanks to you, National Lottery players, because you get handy if you do, or whatever. If you don't, that's fine. But those that do, and people who pay their tax, we're here because of you, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I've done if I hadn't got that grant.
No, it's really... No, it's amazing the support that our communities get, and actually how much a little can go a long way when you put in the hands of a community, isn't it? And I think that's one of the most worrying things, I think, for lockdown, is the many charities and voluntary community groups and settings out there that are struggling greatly because they haven't been able to fundraise, or they have bills but they have no projects, they have no income coming in. And then you add to that people who are losing jobs and have no income to give. I think you'll find we'll be relying on people like the National Lottery, Arts Council, small grants, a lot more going forward, in order to help us. I think the term is build back better, but actually to help us keep what we've got going, really, let alone supporting any of the additional needs.
I mean, you're in Yorkshire yourself, Tracy. I mean, I was at the Seacroft Estate yesterday in Leeds, you know, and lovely people there. They're supporting us. They're not allowed in their school. We're doing live stream assemblies in their school out to the community.
Yeah.
And you know, this looks complicated. Yeah, this is complicated. I've worked out simpler ways of doing it, but we can empower people, you know, to do this in their communities. There are people there who've got nothing. You know, when you're hungry and stressed and worried, and we've all had the sleeping pill moments and stuff like that. You can't think straight. You can't be doing stuff like this, you know. But when people like Pen is facilitating those workshops, people that you work with at communities, nutcases like me running around, people think, do you know what? I'll hang on to that, because I can turn up for an hour and help. I can't do a week or a month because I don't know where the next food's coming from. The head teacher we're working with in Leeds, Chris Dyson, he gets tons of food to give to that community. And that's yesterday. Everybody's getting a £30 Tesco voucher on the whole estate. That's 12 grand he's found, you know. And this school leaders, you know, hats off to them. I salute those people for what they're doing in their communities.
And it's so important, isn't it? Because it's those things that let everybody else know that there's people out there that care, that we care about their health, their well-being, their creativity, and about them. So I think everybody will agree that this has been a really good session, and thinking about how we put our passions and the people first, and make sure we continue to drive that connection. Can I thank you both sincerely for joining us today? I'm sure this film will live on. And thank you, Laurie, for your question, because that was a really, really good question. So thank you, everybody, for watching. You can continue to watch again, or join the festival for lots more insight moving forward. So bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
Cheers.